What is good, Niner Faithful Radio? It's back. I'm back again with a new name, Captain Niner. There's a whole story about that. I'll tell you guys all about it after we got our revenge up in Seattle. We beat the Seahawks last night, 31 to 13. Yeah, it was a good weekend. Tons of stuff. You guys can probably hear. I can still barely walk. My knee hurts like a mother. You guys hear my voice? But yeah, we will get this started here in shortly. I'm gonna hit the intro to this, and then TJ will be back on us. So give me just all right. Get back in a minute. Whoa, you didn't even let me hit the intro, man. You're just gonna skip the shit.
Oh shit, my bad. All right, go ahead, go ahead.
We already here now.
Yeah, that is a long, awkward ass pause. Damn, I'll fix that, bro. I'll fix that. Don't even.
Oh, I've kind of gotten used to it. I mean, it would just make things easier, but it's like I gotta remember, click the button, click the
Yeah,
button.
click the button.
Yeah, quick shout out to John Johnson being here for a moment. How you doing, brother? I know you were feeling good up here in the land of the Rainy City Bitch Pigeons. It's a lot of shit talking we get to do for a while. Yeah,
Well,
dude.
you go
How's it
ahead.
going? I say, how's it going? How was it from your point of view watching that game last night? Oh,
Oh,
so
I,
I'm sorry, but we are doing a drinking show, and
oh yeah.
I have a special guest for the drinking this evening. It's called water. I can't do any more alcohol right now, but I've had since Wednesday. I think I've been actually since like Wednesday afternoon was when we drank, and we didn't stop drinking until like sometime last night. Like after I talked to you and got off with you,
Mhm.
I had already the attempted post game show. I met up with a bunch of Niner fans, and we just kept drinking all night long together. So, yeah, the party don't stop.
It sounded like y'all had a. I mean, I don't want to say victory Monday, victory Friday.
Oh, you saw that shit?
I'm on Facebook page right now. I literally just saw that. I'm like, oh my god. Um, Now for real, bro. I mean, it felt legendary. My girl took a picture. I'm gonna post it on Instagram and Facebook here in a little bit. But my girl took me a picture of while we were officially doing the victory play. I was taking a
Mhm.
fat ass bite of a big ass turkey drumstick, and there was a lot of bitch ass motherfuckers and a lot of get your faggot ass off my bad, y'all. Get your ass off my screen and a lot of shit like that.
So we might as well go into that. I was gonna bring this up at some point, but the turkey leg celebration. Obviously, you saw it. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure it was on TV and all that kind of stuff. For one, let's talk about how boring ass fucking Nick Bosa shows up and he's like, no carbs,
Yeah.
only meat. Shit was like, of that is the most Bosa thing because you see the way the man trains. He's built like a fucking Olympic god, so it makes sense that he would say something like no carb. But it's just, what have we said about him? Like when, like, who do you want to eat turkey and be there talking shit and everything? It's like Bosa's the last person there. He's like, I just
Really.
want meat, no carbs. It's just, he sounded so much like a robot. But when
Have
Kittle
we
picked,
are we quite convinced that Nick Bosa is not a robot?
right,
I
exactly.
mean, I don't know. I'm
So
just saying.
yeah, you might be right on that one. Have you seen? And speaking of robots, the one with Christian McCaffrey where he's got the two screws at his helmet where they're putting his screw. That's like, all right, that's so. I've been in NFL stadiums, in other stadiums before, where it's been loud. Hell, I've even heard the cheering at Lumen Field when they whooped our ass with how loud it gets there, and that stadium is ridiculously loud. when Bosa came over, I wasn't able because they did the uh, the interview celebration thing on the other side, and there were so many people there trying to get there. I couldn't get there soon enough while they were doing the interviews because they wait. They didn't wait. They did it like instantly. When Kittle brought that to the down the tunnel, I've never heard a louder thing in any stadium than seeing Kittle run down there like some crazed maniac with his tongue hanging out, hair flying, carrying a fucking tray of turkey. That shit was absolutely insane.
I think the best meme I have seen today, um, it says this picture, and it's a picture of just it basically everybody at the table, people are reaching over and everything. And it said this picture healed generational trauma. And I was like, and I just see that, and I was like, my girl really didn't quite understand.
I was a Terradome. Thanks for showing up, brother.
Thanks for showing up, brother. What's up, chat? By the way, my girl quite didn't understand until they obviously showed the video of what happened before and everything like that. And I said, babe, I've showed you the ticket, or I don't know if I have the ticket. I said, but I've showed you the scarf, and I said, there's a picture on my Facebook where there was a Messi Marvin juice song called Orange Juice, right? So literally that day, Thanksgiving 2014, me and my girl at the time and her brother went and ate Thanksgiving breakfast, brunch at Denny's. They went off to go to their families, and I cut to Levi's. And then the next picture you see is the first picture I took of the opposite way. So that street that runs in front of Levi's.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Tasman. So that's the street I used to walk down. So if you walk down that street, that's the way I was walking up, and I got a picture of Levi's. And then I took a picture of the field, and I told my girl, I said, that's that Thanksgiving. I said, that's the day that happened. I was like, that was my Christmas present this year. I was like, it was $172. And I mean, I was in the nosebleeds.
I was a Bebop. Thank you for showing up, brother.
I was like, that was, Tasman. Did I say Tamian? I might have said Tamian, but I meant Tasman. There's Tamian and there's Tasman. But that was, my Christmas present that year was $172, and I was in the nosebleeds of nosebleeds. I looked at her and I said, fuck it, give me $100. I'll come up with the 72 and we'll just call it my Christmas present. And yeah. And let's not forget
on TV how much I paid for tickets.
Yeah, right. I showed my girl the thing that you sent to the group, and she was like, holy shit. Like, that was literally her reaction.
Like, yeah, it was what I spent on tickets for that. I probably could have paid rent for like 4 months.
Yeah. And she kind of gave me that little bit of a side eye, like, babe, you better not ever spend tickets on like that much on tickets.
Dude,
just by,
so you know how we
didn't look up how much they were, but
yeah. So you know how we had talked about like getting a hockey game in with a football, like the Sharks and everything. Dude, I didn't realize the Sharks were in town fucking Wednesday night.
Really? See,
I was like, fuck, man, we could have done because we had talked about this how many times getting a Sharks Kraken game and a football game and everything like that the same weekend. I'm like, fuck, man, I didn't realize it.
I saw that I got a little notification. I get the Google update, thingies about Sharks games. So I got a notification that we were playing the Kraken. And I was like, huh, so funny how me and Jason were talking about that. But I didn't look to see if it was, up there or not. I just saw that we were playing the Kraken. So I was like, well, obviously, either way, I'm not going. The Shark Tanks, not to make this a Sharks hockey podcast, but the Shark Tanks changed so much, bro. Like, oh, I got to tell everybody this. I don't know if I told you this last week, bro, but since this is our less structured show, do you know officially now you're allowed to smoke cigarettes at Levi Stadium, but you are not allowed to bring in a lighter? Think about that. You can go in the smoking section where actually, truthfully, most games, that aren't 42-10. Most games I'm actually in the smoking section, but yeah, I could go into the smoking section, chain smoke for 3 hours, not a single problem, but I could not bring in a lighter. Yeah, that was the most retarded shit ever.
So I'm going to share
But
something that
go
a
ahead.
guy on Twitter, 49ers Gab, who's pretty good Twitter. He's got some pretty hilarious things. Might be the greatest thing that I've seen so far about the 2014 game and then last night's game. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, let me see this. I'm curious.
I don't know if you know Lord of the Rings.
Be at peace.
But wait, it gets better. This shit's fucking great.
Be at
Oh, that's just 1,000 billion It was, you know what? My memory of that, because obviously being there, so I didn't, and knows, well, I had gone lower to the concourse at that point, lower enough that I threw a water bottle at Richard Sherman. But anyway,
The statute of limitation is over for that, by the way.
hey, fuck it. I'll put it to you this way. I mean, I used to talk to his mom all the time. So I'd be like, Mama Sherman,
My bad.
you kind of understand what's up, bro. Like, we hate this nigga. Now we kind of love this nigga, like, hey, he admitted that, there were some things. And, I even remember his, how every major sign they always have the, what's up, faithful? Can't wait to play for you, type of video and everything. I remember Richard Sherman said, hey, my bad, kind of like my bad for all the years. Like, my bad,
What are you going to tell a professional athlete to do? Suck against your hometown team? I mean,
so the way
DC in the
DC
house,
was cracking, bro. Of course, everybody smash that like button. Jason, how many are we away from our jersey giveaway?
13.
13 away, people. We could shit. I can come up with 13 YouTube channels. Anyway, but nah, it was very. That's how I kind of felt. Like, look, like, and I think what made it worse, as somebody who's been there, is let's not forget the Niners were 7-4 going into that game. There was a chance we could get the. I don't think we could have clinched the playoff spot, but we would have things would have been very, very kosher, and that's what started us finishing 8-8. What we ended up going 1-4 the rest of the season or whatever like that, and
completely changed the franchise at that point. Completely.
That's essentially a lot of my boys, especially the one I'm talking about, love to talk about that 2014 Raider game, and that's what ended our chances and destroyed the dynasty. Truthfully, in hindsight, what we look back to is truthfully the dynasty was ended that night, that Thanksgiving night.
Oh, for sure.
The Harbaugh era was ended that Thanksgiving night. That Thanksgiving night essentially put us into the what was it, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 5 seasons of no playoffs.
That was the night that Jed actually told Jim, where you're not coming back next year.
Yeah, I believe that. I would believe that. I'll never forget, and this is why my attitude with Jed has always been like, look, has he made mistakes and everything? I've always gave Jed credit essentially of dude, he was my age when he took over the franchise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so you're taking over a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Beyond just that, just look at the Niners as an organization, as a business. You're taking over a multi-billion-dollar business, probably one of the biggest businesses in the Bay Area, right? And then add on top of that, let's be real, everybody knows it. Niner football runs the Bay Area. All teams cracking. There's Debo, or I don't want to say Steph because Steph's on a different level than Debo, but if you just had whatever player, the best player, fan favorite from every franchise, the Niners are going to draw the most in the Bay. That's the way it is. In the city, it's probably the Giants, but the Bay Area, it's the Niners. And so, hey guys, legendary day. Yay! You know it.
Miss Teresa.
I felt I was appreciative that Jed came out and basically apologized and said, "I'm sorry that's what y'all Thanksgiving was." Because I was like, yeah, you know what? I think I deserved an apology for how much I paid for these fucking tickets to watch that. And it went, and people seem to forget they blew us out, bro. It wasn't even a game.
No.
You know, it wasn't like,
Well,
oh,
score
we
what,
lost.
three? We scored 3 points that night, I think is what it was.
I'll look it up right now.
Dude, is my voice? I'm crack. My voice is over here cracking like I ain't gone through fucking puberty yet. Yeah, I mean, it completely changed the franchise terribly. But so one of the things that I did while I was up in Seattle for the last while, TJ looks this up. I went to some of the parties that they have. You guys all know John Chapman and his channel, and he throws these 49er Rush Gold parties and stuff like that. So I met up with him, talked with him, like met Johnny Liddell or Johnny Dell. Johnny Liddell. Johnny Dell met him. Josh was up there, met a bunch of people. One of the things that I did get for one of the raffles is a signed Brandon Ayuk jersey. So that was probably one of the cooler moments of that. Let's see. We can fuck the Seahawks. It's all about the Eagles. Yeah, definitely got to move on. Comes at a good time with this little bit of a bye. Let's see. Find it.
19-3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a fucking field goal.
19-3. That was it. Actually, surprisingly, it took me a while to find it.
I'm not going to ever say I'm embarrassed of being a fan of the Niners, even during the worst of times. I've never said I'd be embarrassed, but damn, did that next week just like suck? Like I remember just being like it. We all went down like a deep dark tunnel after that. Like, damn, we just got our asses whooped, and then they fucking had Thanksgiving dinner on our fucking logo.
And the worst part about it, and now
was it, Bebop?
I will admit, does it take the less of the sting out, knowing, now years later that it was planned, and if the Niners would have done it, they would have done it with the Niners and everything. Yeah, but it to me, it was the revelness of it. You know what I'm saying? The joy they had eating that fucking turkey on my field. You know what I'm saying? And look, and ultimately, if you said which game could I have had, right? Knowing that ultimately that would have came in a season that was, you never know what could have happened, but in a lost season, and this one literally catapulted us into at least controlling our destination with the 2 seed. I'd rather have this one, and that's what this is really about. I mean, go Bills.
Right,
because
we are all Bills fans.
We are all Bills fans. As a matter of fact, I might go buy a Josh Allen jersey. Speaking of which,
Bills
did you
Mafia for life. I haven't heard back from them yet.
Okay, cool. Anybody else? You can find a white throwback Brock Purdy jersey. It's official after yesterday, and it's going right there. Y'all are gonna see it in the background every show now. Because look, did Brock have the world's greatest game? I mean, really, let's be real. Brock didn't have a great second half. He had a phenomenal first half. But to me, I was
for 210, barely.
But I was excited. I was excited to see that game because we finally saw a game. We finally saw a game where it wasn't. You and I were talking last night on the attempted post-game show of about how
be honest,
so.
I don't remember.
We were so. Okay. We were talking about how in a game where you look statistically and score-wise, we whooped their ass, especially defensively. It was so weird because that game for that third quarter, it really did feel like the game was lightweight and balanced.
Dude, that third quarter in that stadium was fucking nuts. Like you could feel that they were trying to bring them back, and like that
it definitely felt like everybody in that stadium whether they believed it was going to happen or not, knew it was now or never. Like, hey, if we're going to win this game, it's got to be now.
Yep.
And Brock was shaky, whatever it was, but guess what? You know what? When it was clutch and when it was needed most, he gave. We say this almost every week, but bro, I'm sorry. I don't know if my heart can take a better throw than that. Like, you know what I'm saying? In between, just sandwiched between 2 4 defender. Like, my heart can't take a better throw than that. I mean, like, that was just.
I think I screamed that at that point. I turned around because obviously I'm in the middle of a fucking bunch of 12s and everything. I was like, between 4 fucking defenders.
And I was like, when they showed Brock, celebrating everything, I was like, respect my fucking quarterback. Like, I was just like to me, that was just excuse the name. And, like we all say this, but I say this a little tongue in cheek. But that was, to me, that was Brock's most Joe-like game in the sense that it wasn't perfect. But when we needed our quarterback to make a throw, to make a play that was there to be made, and yeah, that you know what? It's so funny because even my girl noticed that. But anyway, when we needed our quarterback to be our quarterback and be the leader of our team and all the things that are expected of a franchise quarterback, Brock delivered.
So I know we all pretty much
And
remember
also,
the touchdown he threw last week was it to Kittle?
Just real quick, and thank God they traded Russell Wilson because they might have came back in that game if they still had Russell Wilson.
I don't know. Russell ain't playing all that great, but I know like last week we said Purdy had to throw of his life. He clutched it. Came back and I couldn't remember, was it to Kittle or Ayuk that he double clutched that one for the touchdown?
Or Kittle.
It's Kittle? Okay.
Yeah.
And we anointed that as being the best pass that he's ever thrown. I think the one this week was even better. Because it was the man is a fucking chef because he's out there layering throws like it's a fucking cake.
I just
perfectly.
That's Brock's best trait. And that is a look. We've said it. How you doing, Sophie? Thank you for joining us.
How's it?
You and I have talked about this before that we both agree Brock's not an elite player yet, right?
Like he's working his way into that category though.
He's definitely, I told my girl last night, I was like, you could only play as many games as you're able to play, right? Like he can only play 17 this year. He can only play 8 last year. Like he can only play the games that he's allowed to play. I said, but you know what? So fine, whether Brock's there working, whatever, he has elite fucking traits. I will say that. Whether he ends up being a top 5 quarterback his whole career or not, that man has elite traits.
And that trait is right here.
Right here and right here, and it's touch, bro. It's if Kaepernick had Brock Purdy's touch, you might be talking about one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever live.
Yeah.
If Cap had Brock Purdy's touch. Because these throws are, and yeah, he's thrown picks on those type of throws before and everything like that, but I'm okay with that. If you're going to make 7, 8, 9 out of 10 of those throws and you give us the deep threat that we've never had, that BA touchdown, Jimmy overthrows him. That Brandon Ayuk touchdown, Jimmy doesn't even the one against Tampa Bay. Jimmy doesn't even throw that.
Yeah. Well, Kyle said in his press conference that one of the best things about Brock is that he's willing to take the chance to throw those game-winning, balls. It's like you said, Jimmy probably doesn't even attempt that or overthrows it or whatever. But and then Jimmy would throw or miss something like that, and then he would get gun shy for the rest of the game for trying to put a ball between 2 or 3 people to do something like that. Brock doesn't. That, and we talk about elite traits. That is the hit right there. Is that he's not scared. A lot of people are scared of the moment. Brock makes those moments. in those situations. He's not afraid. It's not too big for him. He wants to win, and he knows sometimes you got to do something above and
A
beyond.
little crazy.
Yep, a little crazy, and he's just got to do it.
And what makes me most excited about where we're at in this situation is how young he is.
Vote.
And I mean, Kyle was gushing. I mean, that's probably the most I've ever heard Kyle gush about a player.
It was.
And I mean, it was like
it sounded like me and my first high school sweetheart.
Yeah, for real. I mean, like, damn, Kyle, get a room. Like,
right.
But I think the best compliment he gave him is that, and what fires up, if you ask Shanahan what excites him the most about Brock, is what he also said in this presser yesterday, is that when we go over the film, very rarely does he miss a big play on the field. And that's why is he put up mostly 30 points? I mean, I would have to go through to get the exact average, but I would imagine he's averaging 30 points. We're averaging around 30 points since he's taken over. Well, why is that? Because he doesn't miss the big play, Jason. That's what this offense is designed to do. Well,
I would say he doesn't miss big plays. He's not afraid of. Yeah, exactly. When they're there, he goes for them. He doesn't take the check down for 5 or 6 yards or just throws out of bounds. He goes for those big plays because he knows.
Yep.
In big games, you need those big plays, and so you have to at least try them.
Let me ask you not the ultimate question, but a big question, and this is, of course, hyperbole, but does Brock make that throw to Emmanuel Sanders, Super Bowl 54? I believe so. I believe he completes that ball. Or at least, yeah, exactly. At least gives him the chance, which ultimately, if you give your receiver a chance there, I mean, at the worst, it's a PI, I think, personally. If it would have not been overthrown, the worst I think that we get out of that is a PI, and the ball would have been wherever it would have been, and we go on. But what also is big about this game is the Seahawks lose to Dallas next week. We gotta, and we beat Philadelphia. We got a chance to wrap up the division when they come here to Levi's.
Yeah,
that is absolutely huge.
I mean, we still got to definitely battle for that number 1-2 slot.
Yeah,
but locking up the division this early is like, damn.
See, do you think Detroit got a little exposed? I didn't watch any of the game, so I don't know. But people I've been talking to kind of been like with some of these people with the the old school Lion fans we've been here before. They remember Megatron and Stafford. But I feel like who's now? Of course, I don't know the whole Lions schedule, but who have they played? Have they played us or the Eagles? That's my question. Because it's cool when you beat up on the Lions. You beat up on the Bears. You beat the Vikings. You beat the Buccaneers, the Saints, whatever else. But have you gone, like even in your house, I'll even take in Philadelphia, have you had, it's 1, 2, 3, Niners, Philly, and Detroit. Are 1, 2, 3 in the conference, best teams in the conference. You could argue 1, 2, 3, whatever. But have they even played the Cry Girls?
I don't even know their schedule. This is what I'll say about Detroit right now. Detroit has one of, if not the easiest schedules in the league. While you look it up, I'm going to respond to Miss Teresa's. What about that Metcalf comment? Hold on, let me show you what I posted not too long ago up on all of our stuff. Let's see. Here we go. So, DK Metcalf. You know what? Fuck it. DK Metcalf basically said, yeah, fuck it. DK Metcalf from now on. Basically said, who the fuck is their defense outside of Bosa and Fred? And damn it, I keep hearing my voice crack from all this fucking yelling. Well,
oh, they big mad. They big mad.
oh, but here's my response to what Wetcalf said.
Oh
What'd you
my
do,
God,
brother?
Jason.
What
Oh,
did you
shoot that
do?
shit in my veins. Shoot that shit in my
He
veins,
didn't do
bruh.
shit all night long.
Didn't
So
do
shut the fuck up.
shit. 3 for 32. 3 for Charvarius Ward was in his head. In his head. You know what? On Tuesday's show,
As
I'll give
Bebop
you
said, Mooney effing Ward, man. Lock this man
Moody.
down.
Look, everybody here is big fans of the show. I'll give you all a sneak peek. Charvarius Ward's going to be my Bam Bam defensive MVP of the week on Tuesday. Like,
Yeah,
what he did to DK, because on the pregame show, anybody who listened would tell you, 4 more bridges to go. Love it, Teresa. Anybody who watched my pregame show would tell you that DK and Tyler Lockett, specifically Tyler Lockett, because, you know, him mostly being in the slot, worried me defensively. Offensively, I thought we were going to be fine. You know, we'll run the ball, we'll do our thing. Defensively, that's what worried me. Like, I would be curious to see, because he didn't cover. There were a couple plays that he didn't cover him, mainly when DK went in the slot, which I was surprised they didn't do more of. But I believe 2 of those 3 catches weren't when Charvarius was guarding him. So I believe, unless I'm mistaken, if somebody finds something different, please then correct me. But I believe Charvarius only gave up 1 catch against him yesterday.
And I will say this,
Yes.
Berto, that was a nice ass fucking catch.
That was
ball
basically
had
the biggest play.
Yeah, that ball had no right to be caught because he had to look over this shoulder and then come back and then reach out with one hand. He pretty much no looked it. I mean, I just stood there and I was like, you got people in the ground to the crowd, because I'm just gonna say this: I was being loud as fuck and I was being obnoxious as a motherfucker. Plus, probably because I was drunk as fuck. And so they were like, "What are you gonna say about that?" I'm like, "Nice catch. I can't say shit about it." What am the dude just basically no-handed one hand cat caught this ball. I can't say shit about it.
See, and this is why it's not good for me to like Denver was cool, you know, people in Denver, like it was very it was very a non-personal feeling. Like, look, y'all, you know, you could be the fucking Ravens for all I get. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's nothing personal. You just happen to be who the Niners are playing this week. And my mom happens to live in your city. If she would have been in Baltimore, and we played Baltimore this week, then I'd be in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? So it was nothing personal. With the Seahawks, it is very personal. It is very. There's
animosity in them.
There's a lot of built up animosity, bro. I remember the year that they came into our division.
Yep.
I remember Patrick Willis's pick 6. I mean, it's kind of funny because so my coworker at work, one of my coworkers, big shout out to Lorena. I had gotten we were supposed to, but we didn't get the Christmas tree. For our Secret Santa, you were supposed to go up and you were supposed to pick a person's ornament, and whoever's ornament you picked was the person you were supposed to do Secret Santa for, right? So there was me and one of my supervisors. We both wanted to get each other because basically Jen was going to give me fire ass weed, and I was going to get Jen. I actually wasn't going to get her weed. I was actually going to get her a gift card to the mall down the street. It's like this huge candy store and shit. She would have wet her pants. Like, Jen loves candy. So I got a Niners ornament because I figured, oh yeah, it'd be so like basically anybody who's like fuck TJ wouldn't pick that ornament because it's very obvious. Like, oh, I wonder who got the 49ers ornament, you know? So anyway, Lorena had asked me, she goes, oh, who's the Niners' biggest rival? And I said, probably the Seahawks. I said, I don't know. I said, because technically the Yams are our longest rival. We played the Yams the most, and they're our oldest rival. I said, but probably truthfully, the team I hate the most with like every fiber of my being is probably the Seahawks. And she goes, maybe I'll get a Seahawks ornament. And I looked at her and I said, Lorena, please don't do that. I said, I like you. I said, I will break the fuck out of that ornament. And I said, and I'll do it. I'll break the fuck out of that ornament because I know you're doing it to piss me off. And I know you're doing it to get a reaction. So be careful when you try to get a reaction from me because you might not like the reaction. And I said, what are they going to do? Fire me? I said, go ahead. I will get fired over that ornament. Where the fuck else am I going to get paid $16.50 an hour? Like, I could literally go anywhere in San Jose and get paid almost 80 cents more. Like, the fuck out of here, bruh. You know, I will lose my job over that ornament.
So
that's
part of the
animosity.
Part of the reason why we're so obnoxious is that we went to the Gold Rush pre-party.
Yeah.
So we paid a lot of money to get in. It was expensive. But we basically had a full Thanksgiving turkey. And I'm telling you, there was like 300-400 people up in this bar. It was all 99.9% Niners fan. And not only was there good food, drinks were free. And when I mean drinks, I mean alcohol.
Yeah, that's a bad idea right there.
We walked in at about 12:30, and right before we walked out at 4:00, because again, drinks were free. So we took advantage of this. We drank and drank and drank. And right before we walked out, we're like, hey, everybody, let's go get a shot or two before we go. So when we walked to that stadium, you might be able to see it in some of the videos that I posted. We were fucking lit, dude. So I mean, and you know how it is when you're just having a good time. Everything else,
it's
you're just elite, not super elite.
No, super elite.
But yeah, so I mean that was part of the obnoxiousness. I'm gonna go back over to someone said something. Who was it when said something about Kittle stealing turkey? And again, this is when I've never heard a stadium in my life be so loud.
He's got the whole bird. He's on the move. Well, they got the Seahawks. They go Eagles, Seahawks, Cardinals, Ravens next. Look at this guy.
Oh, he's going to throw it to the crowd. Don't throw it to the knife.
Look at this guy.
And the thing about it is, you know why George did that? Because George is about it's he knows about what they did at Levi's.
He understands the history. Like I said, he knows. Obviously, he wasn't a Niner fan growing up or anything like that, but he understands his position in the history of this organization and how it's going to be remembered. He could stop playing tomorrow. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm retiring. To me, he goes down as the greatest tight end ever. And I know that might hurt some people's feelings, but I think that he does.
Brett Jones and his 3 rings might have something to say about that.
And I completely understand that. But to me, and it's not anything against Brent Jones, Vernon Davis, anybody else you want to put up there. It's just
Kittle's better than VD.
But I'm just saying, people will argue that. Somebody's there now. But I think his understanding of what everything is, Trump, it makes up everything else.
Yeah. I mean, look, I would get on my knees to George Kittle and beg him not to leave. Like, anybody who's watched the show consistently knows, I think George is eventually going to leave him.
That was an interesting intro to that statement.
I know, right? I
I wasn't going to let you slide on that one.
But I've come on air and said that I believe George will finish his career in Tennessee. Playing for the Titans. And it won't be because he wants to play for the Titans or wants to leave the Niners. I just think it'll be a very strictly I live in Nashville, type of decision. But the one thing I will say is what you said is George Kittle definitely understands what he means to this organization, what he's meant to this fan base. Mm-hmm. And I think having Joe Staley be one of his very big influence, like let's not forget, Kittle was basically in tears when Joe Staley retired.
Yeah,
and they did that tribute video and everything like that. And I think being brought up by Joe Staley, who they went to, and I don't know how many people know this, but the Niners had a trade from the Eagles on the table for Joe Staley, and Kyle came to the year he broke his orbital bone. And they came to him and they said, we have this trade to the Eagles on the table, like signed, sealed, delivered. Do you want to go? And he said, no, I want to finish my career here. And he would have gone and won the Super Bowl. I believe it was 2017. And so I believe that right there, and Kittle knowing, and it's just like, yeah, you could go play for Tennessee, but you're not going to be beloved. I mean, George Kittle is to the Shanahan era, to what Dwight Clark was to the Joe Montana era.
Yeah.
Like when you think came the same year, first superstar that came under Shanahan was Kittle Corn. His personality, I mean, just everything about him oozes what big plays in Niner history. I mean, look, I'll never forget 3 touchdowns against the Cry Girls.
Yeah.
You know, why wearing a Fuck Dallas t-shirt? Like, I mean, bro, that's the type of shit that, like, makes you never have to buy a bar, drink in a city ever again. You know, ever have to pay for a meal again. That type of legendary shit. And like, regardless, he's going to be a fan favorite. I'm going to get his jersey. It's going to go on the wall. You know, he's Kittle Corn. I fucking love Kittle Corn. You know, we literally named our offensive MVP of the week after him. You know, right. Because, you know, I started in 2018. I have his autograph. I remember getting his autograph his rookie year. He's just, it's everything. And that just seeing him run off the field, bro, like, yeah, like it did release some pain. Because, yeah, they've ultimately got the, what was it, 15 in a row, 13 in a row? I can't remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember, but it was a long time. You truthfully want to know one of the times I've actually heard Levi. Okay, loudest I ever heard Levi's was the NFC Championship game. Or no. 2 loudest games I ever heard. Loudest times I've ever heard Levi's was when DeForest Buckner had that scoop and score. The Chase McLaughlin missed kick. That's probably one of the loudest I've ever heard a stadium. Period. When Defoe had that pick and scoop and score. The NFC Championship game when Sherm caught that pick to seal it. But the third time I've actually ever heard Levi's the loudest is when Richie James ran back the kickoff return back in 2018 when we beat them. We ended the streak in 2018. I was there that day. And that's probably one of the loudest I've ever heard Levi's. So please don't leave George Kittle. This is basically my point. Like, please. Like, I want you to stay a Niner forever. I want to fucking have your jersey there. I want to fucking get a tattoo of you on my forearm holding a Super Bowl trophy. Like, whatever. I don't give a fuck what I got to do. Just don't leave. Because then I can't listen to my Kittle song. And that would break my heart because, like, I love my Kittle song.
For Roberto here, yeah, was it 12 years in the league? 11 is, all 11 is a Seahawk, 1 is a Ram. Yeah, the dude's been around forever. He's a machine. He's a little slow. He got exposed a few times yesterday, but yeah, I mean, he's still an all-time. He's still an all-time great. I can't.
Brooks. Go ahead. Sorry.
I can't say much about Wags. I mean, like I said, I got nothing but respect for him. He doesn't really talk a whole lot. He's anchored that defense for over a decade. He's good. You know what I mean? Easy Hall of Fame ballot with that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I always judge my rivals of would I love to see you in red and gold. And yeah, Patrick Willis.
We both wanted
Bobby Wagner. Like Patrick Willis, Bobby Wagner, and Navarro Bowman. How did we not win a championship with that, bro?
And then when he got released by the Seahawks, we both wanted him. Could you imagine him with these two dudes?
I'd rather have him with. I would have rather signed him than Malcolm Smith. The fuck, get out of here. But yeah, Williams and Brooks might be my new 2 Sheacocks I hate the most, bro. Because Brooks was talking the most shit for somebody who got trucked the fuck over, I saw the video. I think it was you that posted. It was like a few moments. It was him, trying to fire up the defense. It was like a few minutes
A
later.
few
and
moments later.
CMC trucking him. And like to me, even my girl, and I always say this, like, what's up, No Border? How you doing, Ryan?
How's it, Ryan? Thank you for showing up, brother.
I don't try to say this to discourage my girl or whatever, because she's trying to get into football and she tries. Like yesterday, she was like, "Oh, babe, that's a pick six, huh?" And everything when we were watching the highlights, and I go, "Yeah, babe." And she goes, "We were talking about that," and she goes, "That was that was a pick six, or no?" She goes, "That was an interception, and he ran it back for a touchdown, huh? That's how they got the touchdown." I said, "Yeah, that's a pick six." And she goes, "What's a pick six?" And I go, "It's an interception that leads to a defensive touchdown." So she's learning and she's getting the lingo, and she gets a kick every time they're like, Ayuk is on fire. She gets a kick out of that. Or they have a commercial where at the end it goes, Niners on 3, 1, 2, 3, Niners. My girl always gets a kick out of that. So she tries, but
I tried so hard to get the first down chant going, and no one wanted to do it with me.
yeah, got it.
And I was obnoxiously loud. Again.
Yeah. I did it every time in Denver, every day. And that's another 49ers first down. Ho.
That's how I was.
But anyway, even my girl she goes, "Babe, they do a lot of cheap shots, don't they?" I was like, "Babe, they're full of bitch niggadom." You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, that's all they're about, is about being bitch niggas. Like, but I will give you his props. I didn't think it was possible for Javon Kinlaw to get flipped like that, bro. I was like, damn. I was like, holy shit. Like, you're a bitch ass nigga for doing that, but like, I gotta give you props, bro, because I didn't think that was humanly possible.
It's not like in-laws Debo Small or something. You know what I mean?
He's like this fucking A.
That's a big man that he just fucking sent flying. I remember looking at it like, because it was on the other side of the field. I'm like, and I couldn't quite see it at first when it happened, so I had to watch the replay on my friend's phone. I was like, did somebody just toss Kinlaw? I was just like, nah, there's no way someone, just tossed his big ass around like that.
Okay, so legitly, the Lions beat Kansas City week 1.
Oh, yeah, they did beat them. Yeah, I forgot about that. That was so long ago, I forgot about that. But that's also, I will say this, that was also week 1. If there's upsets,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's literally week 1. I'm literally looking through their schedule, and that's the only. So basically, going to Detroit, that could get a little weird. I still like the Niners. I would consider it an upset and a disappointment if we went in Detroit and lost. But I'm sorry, bro. I think Detroit's going to see us. They're going to see Philly, maybe even the Cry Girls. And it's going to be a different level. Now, next year, 2 years from now, when they've experienced some playoff, they've gotten some, scars and things like that, man, watch out for Detroit. Or if they get a young quarterback, watch out for Detroit.
Go back 2 years, I said Detroit was going to be good this year. So here's another highlight, something that I want to share. Speaking of somebody tossing people around.
There have been
yes.
runs to the left tonight, and you want to know why? Number 71, Trent Williams.
Look at this man.
I remember that play. He was running away from him, bro.
Been able to do in his career, just game after game. You want a little power? Right? There's one throw down, and then.
Damn. Bruh. Oh, Trent Williams watched the smoke. Who was it on the Eagles? Who was it that he body slammed on the Eagles last year? I don't remember who it was.
That wasn't a body slam so much as he just kind of grabbed him by the back of his jersey and just tossed him like he was not. I forget who it was, but it wasn't like during the game. He just kind of grabs a.
Yeah. It was the end. It was the end, and they were taking a cheap shot at Debo. It was the end, and Trent was like, "Okay, I have enough of this shit." Like you took out my quarterback. You're not taking. And look, love beat the Seahawks, all that, like awesome. This right here is going to be the game of the year.
Should be.
Because you're going to have two motivated. Let's be real. They want to shut us up,
Yeah.
and we want to prove last year was a fluke. Now, of course, do we beat them last year? Does that take away what they did last year? Or beat them next Sunday? Does that take away what they did last year? No.
Nope.
But it makes that game, that NFC Championship game at Levi's. And let's be real, bro. I don't think I'm going to be able to afford playoff tickets, especially that one. Do you know how insanely expensive that game's going to be? If we play the Eagles at Levi's in the NFC Championship game, come on, bro. That could easily be like a $700 ticket, $800 ticket, easy. So I like that a lot more. And we'll get into Friday, where we got variety. Friday next week we'll get in the preview. But we'll break down the game a little bit more on Tuesday too. There's some things I want to go over. We'll do MVP, all that shit.
Yeah, that's Tuesday shit. So speaking of the variety show, for everybody that's here tonight, it's going to be on Lockdown Corey Davis' channel. So please, once we're done here, make sure you jump over to his channel. And then after Corey tonight, it's going to be on No Border Sports, his Ryan's show afterwards. I might have to show up a little bit at Corey's. To be honest, I can't. I'm so fucking tired right now. Like,
bro, I'm done.
Like, I am so spent from this weekend. I'm surprised I'm even awake now. I'm sure once I stop moving, I'm going to just fall asleep instantly.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. The second you go sit down on the couch or something, you're gonna knock out.
Yeah, I'm done. Exactly so, like I said, I might just show up and like, hey guys, I survived. See you next time. Yeah, go Niners and go to sleep kind of thing. But yeah, so if you guys could please also go to their shows, show them guys some love. They're always up in here. You guys see them all the time. Other than that, dude, the weekend was just absolutely nuts. I got, like I said, meeting all those guys, winning a jersey.
Johnny Dell was a cool one to meet.
Yeah, Johnny Dell was cool to talk. It was I had at one point it was me, him, Josh Putnam, and Chapman just sitting down, just BSing. So that was a lot of stuff. Also, I talked to Eric, who is the social media guy for Chapman, runs all of his stuff. Talked to him about how he does stuff because you guys all seen how well their stuff runs.
I met him. I don't know if you saw. By the way, go check out Wayne Breezy's "Faithful to the Bay" music video. It's officially out. They had they did a preview video. Eric did a little interview with me because the Faithful to the Bay, the Debo mural, everybody knows is in my hood, bro. It's literally like 30 feet from the house I grew up in. So there was a little video that they did before where I was like, hey, I was showing them around the neighborhood and everything. I was like, big shout out to Wayne Breezy. Thank you for letting me be a part of the video in my hood. Like, so anyway, so I met Eric. Then Eric was the one that recorded the video. So, yeah, cool dude.
Yeah, and like I said, I talked to
him. Sounds like a great. I'm actually super jealous, bro. I'm super jealous. I wish I could have been there. Sounds like a legendary time.
It was 10 for 10. Would do it again. I will say this. I forgot. I told you I said this. So, you guys all know the Hawaiian shirts that I wear and everything. That's been my thing for a while. I don't think anybody else does it but me. And I know a lot of people know me because of that. But then I bought the hat. And let me tell you what, this hat is a motherfucking game changer. I don't know what I bought it as a joke simply to wear with the white one. Just because I was like, you know what? That shit looks kind of fly together. And it did. Don't get me wrong. The shit looked pretty cool. I could not tell you how many people just wanted pictures with me just because of this fucking hat.
Damn, man.
The entire time I'm there, I think everybody was like, what's up, Skipper? What's up, Captain Niner? And I know the first person who actually, I think, said that out loud was Bashar, Forward-Minded. Shout out to him. Go show his show some love.
Oh, Bashar was out there?
No, he wasn't there, but he was the first one who started using it like every time he comes on to our show or he shows up, or I show up in his show, he's like, what's up, Captain Niner? So, he came up with the idea. But then, like I said, this week, or I think it was just now, the weekend, these last few days, the hat has become its own thing, and so
The hat is legend.
like I said, it's a thing now, and I'm not.
It's
not
the
gonna
new
stop.
faithful flag.
Basically,
It's the new
so,
Hodge with
yeah.
the faithful flag adventures. Jason's hat's the new faithful.
It is because, like I said, like everybody was like, "Dude, that hat is fucking amazing. Can I have a picture with you?" And so, like I said, it's now official. Niner Smash is no more.
Hey,
Captain Niner.
sometimes, Greg,
Yeah.
you never know. Just like
It's just weird.
everybody. So the your boy part I added, but everybody kind of oh okay, call yourself Niner faithful. No, truthfully, how it happened was my senior year. It was either junior or senior year in high school. We had just gotten our asses whipped. And like we were like 7-9 or something like that. We had just gotten our asses whooped the last game or something like that. And I like still wore a Niner shirt and like I had my Niner hat and took it off because at Andrew Hill we had a uniform. I think I wore my Niner shirt underneath my college shirt that day, and I had my Niner hat in my backpack or whatever. And I think I was wearing it or something, and mistakenly came in and bitched at me. And my homegirl goes, "Damn, bro, you really are Niner faithful, huh?" And and I said, "Yeah." And she sat down in class and she drew me this sick ass fucking picture with the old school handwriting, like old English handwriting and shit. She drew me a sick ass picture. It was like red and black and had red and gold and had black out. It was dope as fuck, and it said Niner faithful on it. And I was like, "Oh, that's fucking hard." And so ever since then, that's when I started going by Niner faithful. So everybody thinks it's a self-proclaimed title. Like I added the your boy part, but my nickname Niner faithful was actually given to me. I did not give that myself. It was actually a homegirl of mine that gave me.
So that's my story of the hat, and I'm sticking with it. And so, also one more quite short little story. So, when I was doing my walk around Thursday morning when I was looking for coffee, do you remember? Do you remember me talking to some guy I was like, "Hey, what's up?" No, I didn't hear you and anything like. Do you remember any of that? I don't know if you guys could hear what he was saying. So I'm walking up there. This guy walks across the street from me, and he kind of looks at me. He starts doing this to me. I'm like, "What, dude? I'm just fucking walking down the street, man. Fuck off." He's like, "Yeah, motherfucker." And I've got my Hawaiian. At the time I had the red and gold Hawaiian shirt on. I think I was walking around with my cookie nuts necklace on and everything. He's like, "You know what, man, fuck you. I took Islanders down like you in prison all the fucking time." And I think I muted at the time, and I was like, "You want a fucking cookie? I don't give a fuck what you did. I'm just doing a show here. I'm gonna keep walking past you." And then I unmuted it real quick, and he just kept yapping. He's like, "You heard me," and I'm like, "I did, and I'm gonna keep walking." So I was like, "Am I really gonna get into a fight on fucking live streaming this shit?"
Oh, bro.
I was like, I really fucking thought like I'm really about to fight somebody, and I'm just fucking trying to shoot a video here, looking for some coffee, and this dude wants to go off about me because he choked some Islander out in fucking prison.
Life.
Well,
that's
TJ, we can't beat Ryan, or we can't beat
okay.
Ryan.
People just call me Batman because I'm Batman. Yeah, okay. Whatever, nigga. You know what? Like we're not gonna.
Whatever, Bruce. I'm gonna call you Bruce.
Bruce. Yeah, nigga, you're Bruce Wayne, not Batman. Nigga. Anyway, so that about it, bro. I'm tired.
That's it for me, man. Like I said, I'm probably gonna go record your channel for a little bit and then get the hell out and crash somewhere. Or I fall asleep just at my desk.
We got turkey sandwiches for dinner.
Yeah, I did. We're not doing Thanksgiving till tomorrow, so I got everything. We're doing everything tomorrow because obviously I wasn't in town for the wife. So our Thanksgiving is tomorrow, so I got a lot of shit to cook tomorrow.
Sounds fun. All right, Brody. See you. Did your shirt come?
Yes, I haven't opened it yet, but yes,
okay.
I forgot to say that it showed up. Literally, when I was getting ready to leave to go up to Seattle, the mailman pulled in.
Okay, cool, awesome. Now,
but I know. Thank you. I know it's a shirt now. If I couldn't tell by picking it up.
Oh yeah. Oh well, I figured y'all knew that.
No.
But,
just haven't opened it. But yeah, thank you.
Go figure. My big mouth. You know what was the funniest shit ever? So I'm sitting there and I'm talking to my girl, And I was like, yeah, I don't want to blow your present. I say, hey, babe, do you want your purse wrapped? or something like I said something like that. Like I was like, I don't want to blow your present. And then like I said like three words later, I was like, your purse. And then she was like, oh, I was like, oh fuck.
Fuck. Been there, done that, dude. I've done the same thing.
Yeah, I was like, son of a bitch. She doesn't know. My girl's real good because I keep it straight 100. My girl knows exactly where her presents are. You know what I'm saying? Shit, they came to her work. So I tell her, like, look, babe, this package, it's good to like your shirts came. Like a bunch of shit came the same day. So I'm like, shirts, good. Like those are send Jason his, send Kim hers, you know, and then bring Farmers home. I'm gonna give Farmers his when he comes down the 10th. He's coming out here for the Niners Seahawks game.
Nice.
So yeah, it's actually gonna be a cracking weekend. And then I was like, but I'll tell her like this one's yours. You know, like, oh well, she actually might be watching or watch later.
Don't say it.
Yeah. She got her present. I was like, hey, it's fragile, you know, could be broken. Could you have Paul or Matt check it out? Make sure we don't have to send it back and you know, all that. She goes, yeah, no problem. So look, you want to look at it yourself and blow your fucking, you know, and this one, I'm pretty proud of this one. I think my girl's legitimately gonna like it, you know, and I pulled this one out of my ass. So I was like, you know, but yeah. All right, bro. Well, I was tripping because my girl said that yours should be come from Kim. And then Kim messaged me and was like, oh, my shirt came. Thank you so much. And I was like, oh, I guess Jason didn't come. My girl was like, that's weird. Like, you know, but all right, brother.
Deuces. See you later. All right, that's it. Like I said, everybody, thank you for showing up again. Again, jump over to Corey's channel, who's probably going live right now. It's going to be Lockdown Corey Davis. Jump over there, show him some love over there on his channel, and we'll see you guys later. All right, Phi Phi Lava, one love.